Bowling with the Theft.
I encourage you to get fast.
Your bowling stories.
For all things the game of bowling.
Every week.
Helping bowlers.
The hand collapses down.
Live.
And I'm going to try to bowl the best I can.
2,000 subscribers. 2,000 subscribers.
I want to challenge Ken Nelson.
Tom Corbett.
Jason Belmonte.
Let's do this. This is Bowling with the Pfaff.
Well, hey everyone, good Wednesday evening and welcome to another episode of Bowling with the Pfaff, a platform for you to share your unique bowling story live on our YouTube channel. We're going to have a couple of those stories in abbreviated versions tonight because this is a special show. As you can see, we are live here at Bowl Winkle's on the west side of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. It is league night tonight. The Arrowhead League is underway. You've got about, if I had to guess, I would say close to 20 lanes of relatively high-level competition for this town. This is about as good as it gets as far as the high-level bowlers, and they are out here in force tonight, 5-person teams. And trying to put up some honor scores as we start off 2025. The reason we're here is we are making some big announcements tonight. We've got the big reveal for our association tournament, the 2025 Eau Claire Area USBC tournament, which is coming up early next month. I do want to mention before we get going, because I know I'll neglect to do this, I myself am a volunteer board member on the Eau Claire Area USBC board. Just so you know, in the spirit of transparency, want to put that out there because we've got a couple other board members with us and we're going to be talking about board things. But anyway, this is also an exciting week on the national stage for bowling right now as the PBA Tour is going in earnest. The Delaware Classic is going on right now. They're in match play, and it's a best 4 out of 7 match play format, I believe. You've got right now Brandon Runk and Sam Cooley, 2 games apiece as they go into game 5 of their set. AJ Johnson, a clean sweep over Chris Vi. He'll move on to take on Andrew Anderson in the next round. On moving down the bracket, Hayden Stipich, who qualified through the tour trials and got his exemption for this year through that, is 2-2 against Matt Ogle, who is a PBA Tour champion. A great match opposite them. EJ Tackett, 3-2 up on the reigning Rookie of the Year, Nate Purchase. So an exciting match there. They're going to see who will take on Jacob Buttriff in the next match. Down the bracket, Trevor Roberts, 3-1 so far over Bill O'Neill. Nick Pate and Marshall Kent knotted at 2. They are bowling for the right to take on Kyle Troop in the next round. Kevin Williams down 3-1 to Tom Smallwood. BJ Moore down 3-1 to Graham Fa. So lots of great action going on right now. That is on Bowl TV. The televised final will be on Saturday on FS1. Looking forward to that. I believe it's at 5 o'clock Wisconsin time. So great stuff there for those of you who follow high-level professional bowling. This is that time of year, isn't it? Next week, week from Saturday, February 1st and 2nd, you can catch live coverage of the Big Ten Championships, live from Bolero Mount Prospect, just outside of Chicago. You'll get start-to-finish coverage right here on the channel. The links are live right now. We've got a whole playlist devoted to that, so be sure to check that out because it'll be great stuff. Don't forget, we also have a merch store, etsy.com/shop/bowlingwiththepfaff.co. That's your place for Bowling with the Pfaff hoodies and t-shirts, all kinds of good stuff there for you to check out. Also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply. He's been doing it since 1988. If you need bowling balls, accessories, bags, even high-level coaching, he's your guy. 715-559-1822 is the number. You can find him inside Wagner's Lanes in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And
Handmade salsa is great, but it's such a hassle. Cutting yourself, the constant waiting, burning yourself. Oh, look at that mess. Raise your snack standards. chip magnet salsa.
Yeah, you don't want to make your own salsa. It's a hassle. It can be dangerous if you're like Jim and cutting yourself on knives and things like that. Just don't even worry about the hassle. Try some chip magnet. You will love it. If you order from chipmagnetsalsa.com, enter this promo code at checkout, BWTF2025. You get 25% off a 6-pack order, or you can also find it in stores in the Eau Claire area. You can find it at places like Woodman's and Festival, Eau Claire Cheese and Deli, many others. Chip Magnet, raise your snack standards. And a big thank you to Chip Magnet for supporting the channel and supporting local bowling. Also want to plug Visionary Video Hub, Video with Impact. This is my own personal video production company that I'm just launching. We do live streaming, voiceover podcasting, and good old-fashioned video production. You can find out more at visionaryvideohub.com. Well, let's get to the meat of the matter. The 2025 Eau Claire Area USBC Association Tournament. We've been talking about this for months, and now we are going to get into the wonderful details with Barb Hanson, the president of our association, and Randy Schenk, vice president. Welcome to Bowling with the FEF.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Randy, is this the most excited you've ever been to be in front of a microphone?
Almost.
Almost.
I've been on the radio once before doing commercials.
Okay. All right. Well, see, now we can see where that voice is coming from.
There you go.
Tell us a little bit about the association and this tournament. We meet, a few times a year, and it's a group of about, I want to say, 10 of us maybe. Tell us what the association does and where we are.
Well, the association represents all of the bowlers in the Eau Claire Area USBC. It's Eau Claire, Bowl Winkles, Wagners, and Durand at one time when their bowling center was active. We're hoping to get them back in because they're in our association. They've refurbished new lanes, so we haven't quite pulled them back in yet. We have 800 members about. Memberships.
Yeah. The number's actually been going up. It really dropped at COVID, and it took quite a while for it to recover. But bowling has picked back up again. We've got a lot of different types of leagues between the two houses, so it covers pretty much any bowler.
Yeah.
So the beginner bowler all the way up to the 230 average bowler can find a league to bowl in the Eau Claire area.
Yeah. And our purpose is to support bowling, to promote bowling in West Central Wisconsin. We're based about 70 miles due east of the Minnesota border here in western Wisconsin. I want to kind of keep with the spirit of the show, which is kind of biographical or autobiographical, as it were. So why don't we have you start, Randy, and kind of give us a Cliff's Notes version of your bowling story, how you got into the sport and what's kept you in it.
Well, I started many years ago in about 1984 over in the Twin Cities. I actually started on a team with a bunch of other firefighters that I volunteered with. And so I did that, and then I kind of got out of it for a while, but when I moved to Eau Claire, I worked with one of the guys at a job site, and he needed somebody to bowl. And so I started 20-some years ago on a Thursday night, and then it expanded to a Tuesday night, and then I was doing Tuesdays and Thursdays, and now I do Tuesdays and Thursdays still. So 20-some years later, I'm still bowling. I wouldn't consider myself a fabulous bowler. I'm an okay bowler. I mean, my average varies anywhere from 180 to 190. But I love to bowl. It's a good way to meet people. I like bowling. I like getting new people involved in bowling. So in our team, especially on our Thursday night team, we've brought in a lot of new people on our team. And they start out with 120, 130 average, and just to see them improve, it's really fun.
Cool.
So that's one of the reasons why I like doing it, and just to hang out and have fun.
Yeah, that's as great a reason as any, I think.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Barb, how about you?
Well, I grew up in Chippewa Falls, went to school here, then had to get out of Dodge, so I moved to Madison. And they had gone open bowling with some friends down there, and one guy said to me, you've got pretty good form. You should get in, really take up bowling. And I thought, yeah. Well, then I moved back to Eau Claire, and I thought, well, you know what? I kind of lost touch with a lot of the people that I'd known because they left. So I came out to Wagner's and volunteered to be on a late shift, believe it or not. So got on a team, and I've been going full blast ever since.
You couldn't quit.
I couldn't quit. I've gotten to know a ton of people. I bowl a lot of nights. People think I'm crazy, but it's a real relief from work.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares where I work. Is it done yet? So it's just, I enjoy it. My skill level, as my age has gone up, my average has gone down.
Okay.
But I still just enjoy. I bowl with different people every night that I bowl, and I it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really, I enjoyed it.
It's a lifelong sport, and it's just cool to hear, your stories along with the dozens of others that we've had on this show. But tonight's purpose is not so much the biography type of show, but rather the big reveal. We have so many new features and details for this association tournament that it's going to take this show to kind of put them all out there. Let's start out with the association tournament. It's been going on for a while, but we didn't have it last season in 2024. How come we didn't have it?
Well, like Randy said, during COVID, things kind of took a dip, and we had trouble getting the tournament going again. We got maybe 13, 15 teams, and it kind of ended up stagnant. Last year, people just weren't signing up. And it got to be the deadline, and there weren't really enough teams to hold the tournament, so the decision was made to cancel it.
Yeah.
So our board this year, we're going to jazz this up so people want to bowl.
Yeah. Randy, this is something that we kind of started on right after that cancellation. It's like it lit the fire under us on the board.
It did. It really got everyone thinking, how can we make this better? What can we do to bring more people in and to bowling, and to make it a fun thing, something that they want to do every year. So I think we've added a lot of things to it this year that, it doesn't really require you really to even bowl well, that there's a chance you can win something.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of sponsors this year that we got that we didn't have in the past, and it's just a way to get, more people to just have fun and win things.
Yeah, lots of opportunities for that. Let's get into some of these cool details. Okay, you got to start out with the where and the when, right? The team event is right here at Bowl Winkle's Friday the 7th of February at 6:30, or you can bowl Saturday the 15th of February at 9:30 in the morning. How many on a team? What's the format? What do people need to know about the team event?
Well, there's 4 people on a team, and it's 3 games. And it's a handicap tournament. So that means you take your scratch score plus you get a handicap based off a certain percentage, and you end up with a total. And if you want to, you can actually have a team, 2 different teams if you want, as long as you have at least 2 different players on the team. So you can actually do team both weekends if you want.
Sure.
You just pay the money and you can do it. So it's a fun thing to do, and hopefully we'll get a lot of teams signed up. Okay. That's what we're looking for, is to get more and more teams signed up.
Sure. From there, you go to Wagner's Lanes for doubles and singles, and this is not the traditional 9-game tournament like some associations do. This is a 4-game format, and this is on Saturday, February 8th at noon, or Sunday, February 16th at 10 a.m. Barb, can you tell us about that format, how those 4 games factor into singles and doubles?
Okay, so your singles games are counted on games 1, 2, and 3, and then your doubles on 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, so you're essentially bowling singles and doubles at the same time.
Right. We found that as our as our bowling clientele ages. Sometimes 6 games gets to be a little much. So we're trying to pull in everybody that we can.
Yeah.
You can bowl just singles, you can bowl just doubles.
Yep. And I should mention, you do have to be an association member to bowl. You can't just come in that day, pay an association fee, and go. You have to previously be an association member, and there are no walk-ins, and we'll get to that in a little bit here. The entry fee, I think it's very reasonable. $20 per person per event, and then you've got a couple of add-ons that you can do. $10 additional for all events and $5 per event for that optional scratch category. And Randy, I would think that would do a lot to kind of broaden the focus of this to both the competitive bowler and maybe the casual bowler.
Yeah, it'll bring in both. It's not that much more to enter into the scratch tournament. So they can, win money, both either scratch or handicap. But then the nice thing that we've got going is on February 22nd, and we're going to take the top 8 scratch scores. So even though you don't get into the scratch event, even if you're a handicap, but if you're one of the top 8 scratch scores, there's going to be a small tournament just for them 8 where they can win extra money.
Yeah, 300 on top, guaranteed, 200 for second, 100 for third. And my favorite part about the whole thing is that it gets live streamed right here on the channel. So if you want to see all the action, this is the place. But this is something that we kind of came up with in one of these board meetings. And it's really a neat part of this tournament because, again, I don't think there are a lot of association tournaments that have this emphasis on the scratch bowler and a whole nother tournament to get into.
Right. And that's just it. And that's actually one of the nice things and how we came up with a lot of these ideas is on the board, we have various skill levels of all the members. So we had people who were worried about the handicap bowlers. We had people who were worried about the scratch bowlers. We had people who were worried about the older bowlers bowling 6 games, myself included. And so we took everything into consideration when we put the tournament together. We're going to see what happens this year. And then we're going to meet as a board again after that and discuss everything that went right, everything that went wrong. And then we're going to finalize dates for the following year so we can start putting it out a year ahead of time as to when it's going to be. And then we can improve on what we found went right and what went wrong.
Yeah. This is a long-term plan. We're not just one and done here. This is going to set the stage for many years of great competition in the association tournament. Now, for those who want to enter, there is a deadline. We do not take walk-ins on this. The entries do close on February 4th of 2025. So we implore you, get your teams and doubles partners lined up now because we need to kind of have all our ducks in a row. And that's why we can't really do walk-ins, right?
Well, we need to let the lanes know how many, the houses know how many lanes we're going to use so they can plan ahead. They've got open bowling also. So if we're going to use up 20 lanes, that doesn't leave them much for open bowling, but they can at least plan around how many teams we have.
Sure. And maybe supplement our tournament bowlers with some open bowling if, the levels of participation allow. We'll say it that way. There are a bunch of reasons to bowl this tournament. Of course, the spirit of competition, the prestige, because it's always great to try and win an association title. But as we said earlier, there's a lot of good stuff going on with this tournament. And it starts with a $500 donation that Bowl Winkle's is putting in right off the top. That had to be great to hear about.
Yes. We were so appreciative of Eric Platt and Bowl Winkle's.
Yeah. And that helps lower the lineage costs. It gets money into our prize fund. It's just a great thing to hear right off the top. But on top of that, you've also got a bunch of giveaways. Randy, why don't you tell us about some of the things that you can win just by being here
Just
and
by being
participating?
here.
Yeah.
Well, so we've got 2 sponsors that are sponsoring the giveaways. For the team events on both days, we've got gift cards for Cancun Grill Restaurant from Eau Claire. We're giving away $10 gift cards each day. So for the team event on the 2 days, there'll be 10 gift cards. All you do is sign your name, and if we pull your name, you win a gift card. For singles and doubles, Milwaukee Burger Company has donated $10 gift cards for that. So over at Wagner's, you'll be able to possibly win a gift card over there. And then we also are going to be giving away pitchers of beer and pizza,
Or pop.
Stuff like that throughout the whole event, all 4 days.
Again, not based on score. Doesn't matter how well you bowl or how lousy you bowl.
It's based on being here.
Just be there. Get in the tournament. Barb, we also got a donation from Storm of some accessories. Tell us about that. Denny Burkhardt came in with that stuff in our last board meeting.
Yep, we have a bunch of luggage tags that we will also give away for prizes, and some ball cup holders. Some people, they want to change balls out, and they stick their ball on the table, and they can put it on that cup holder.
Hey, I am guilty of that 100%. Every league night, I'm the guy who sticks the ball cup on the table over at Wagner's or on the little partition between the seats here. So if that's ever in your way, you'll know. There's a good chance that I left it there. Yeah. We are also raffling off some bowling balls. This is kind of a first-time thing that we hadn't done before, and kind of a neat little feature because you'll have the opportunity, if you get into the raffle, to win a bowling ball on each of the 4 shifts.
Yes. Thankfully and graciously, Chip Magnet, Salsa, donated the 4 bowling balls. So, yeah, you'll have a chance to win all 4 bowling balls if you're there all 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a nice thing, and it's something new for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully we'll end up selling quite a few tickets, and then the money then will go towards next year's prize fund, so that we can hopefully keep increasing the prize fund.
Now, I know this question is going to come up, so I'm going to pose it to you. Let's say I'm just there in the building. I see you're raffling off a bowling ball. Can I still buy a ticket?
As far as we say, yes.
Okay.
As long as you're in the building while we're selling raffle tickets, if you're just watching the bowlers, you're more than welcome to buy tickets for the bowling ball. The only ones that'll be able to win the gift cards and stuff will be the actual bowlers.
Yep.
But yeah, anyone in, because we actually do have friends and family that come out and watch people bowl in these events.
Oh, yeah.
And so, they can have a chance to win a bowling ball too.
Yeah. And we're talking high performance bowling balls too. These aren't just, cheapo plastic bowling balls. They're good, solid bowling balls that the high level competitor can appreciate, and the casual competitor can appreciate maybe in a different way, but still appreciate because.
And the nice thing about it too is they're all 15 pounds,
mm-hmm.
but if you need a 16 pound, it can be traded for a 16 pound. Or if you're like me, getting older, you go to a 14 pound and it can be traded out.
Yeah.
So even if a female wins it and they only want a 10 or 11 pound ball, they can trade it for that too.
Yeah. Big thanks to Jerry Holdorf and Jerry's Scoremore Bowling Supply for offering that to us through this as well. Now, if you are bowling and you happen to think that you're going to bowl pretty well, we do have some opportunities for side action here. Barb, tell us about that.
Well, we have pot games that you can get in for $10 each. There's the 2 high top scores would collect the money from each game. So if you're bowling 4 games for doubles and singles and you get in the pot games, you could win each time, first or second. We're also running brackets. And those are, we decided
$5 and you can get into 5 brackets.
Yep. And they're
both scratch and handicap.
Yep.
So we're
and
going to have both.
that's specifically at the team event. at Bowl Winkle.
Yes.
So lots of opportunity for additional winnings through this. And like we said, the second tournament, all that good stuff. Is there anything that I have missed? Yes, of course.
So one of the things that the bowlers will be able to do the day of for Wagner's for the singles and doubles is the day of, if you're already registered as a bowler, you will be able to get in up to 5 doubles partners. Right. So you pay extra in order to get a doubles partner, but you're not stuck with just one doubles partner. You can get up to 5 doubles partners. And that money is going to be completely set aside for just the extra doubles partners.
Wow, okay.
So however many we get, that's what you'll pay out. Last time that we had the tournament, when we did it, it paid out like 8 places. Okay. So it does bring in quite a bit of extra money that you can get into during the doubles events.
Yeah. Now have I missed anything?
Well, we're doing raffles, 50-50 raffles.
That's right.
Through the leagues.
That's happening as we speak.
Yes. And we're paying 50% of it back to the bowlers, paying down 2 places. The guys last night were pretty happy.
Yep. One won 200 and one won 168.
Wow.
And then the other half of it is going towards the prize fund for the tournament.
Yeah. And you'll see, folks from the board and friends of the board going around in your leagues this week in the Eau Claire area, hitting you up for those 50-50 raffle tickets. So please, donate as you can. Maybe you'll win a nice chunk of the pot. And either way, that will support a great cause in our tournament here. We can't do this without these sponsors. And we've got such a great group of them. We got to, kind of give them a shout out at least one more time, right?
Yes. Well, for Bowl Winkles, of course, we'd like to thank Eric from Bowl Winkles for his $500 sponsor. And then we'd like to thank Cancun Grill for their sponsorship of the gift cards, and Milwaukee Burger Company for their sponsorship of the gift cards. And then the other one is Chip Magnet for the bowling balls. Jim is doing wonderful with that. We're glad that he was able to do that for us. Who else we got, Barb?
Well, we got Storm.
Oh, Storm,
donated some items.
And the association.
and then we actually have Andrew, Bowling with the FEF, who suggested that we do this. And so we're really appreciative of that. And we're glad that he is on the board because he's giving us another insight into making this a bigger and better tournament.
It's always a good opportunity to just give it to Jim, to needle him even more than I do outside of board meetings. So I want to thank you for that opportunity because it's been a lot of fun. And yes, getting into, the things that we do to improve bowling in this area, encourage more people to take part, is kind of right up my alley, so to speak, and that's good stuff too. We happen to have an association member watching live with us. Sam Lofquist says, "I like all the new additions and giveaways, but it's the scratch option that makes me want to bowl the most. I'll see you there." And I think that's a good point. Not only do you have that optional scratch thing within the regular tournament, but this extra tournament is just something that I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah, and we're hoping that it'll, bring in a few more people. I know I'm going to get into it just because I might actually show up and bowl. There's always that possibility.
Yeah, and, Sam has a long history of great competitive bowling here, averaging 220s, 230s, putting up all kinds of honor scores. So you've got a nice endorsement from somebody who is among those scratch competitors. So that's great to see. But let's, one more time for people who maybe are just hearing this for the first time, this isn't something we can walk in at. There is a deadline. Tell us about that.
Right. Tuesday, February 4th. We need all your entries and your money in. You can put it in the association lockbox at Wagner's. or you can send it to Skip Hartman, who is our association manager, or both Randy and I in the past have been known to take the material, the money in the entry forms, and we'll get it to Skip so everybody gets entered.
So if you have the good fortune of having them at your league this week, it's nice and easy. You can turn in that form there. And if you don't have a form yet, it's easy to find. Just go to bit.ly/2025EC USBC. It is case sensitive, but that'll bring you right to the Facebook post where we have the entry form, we have all the rules, and this handy little one sheet that I created in my free time and can give you kind of some of these basics, where you don't have to read microscopic print. Is there a way to tell in this whether it's a success or not? Or is it just, hey, we're going to see what comes of this and tweak as we go?
I think just having it this year is a success. I sense a lot of people are talking about it. When we were going around selling raffle tickets last night, there was a lot of people interested in it. So hopefully that will help. I think just having it this year will be a success, and all we can do is make it better from here on forward.
Yeah. And I think we're off to a great start. Let us know in the comments or in the live chat whether you think so too. If you have any suggestions, we'd be happy to take them. We don't really have a suggestion box, so this might be a good opportunity, association bowlers, to kind of get your input in as far as the tournament and what you'd like to see from your association board.
Well, and if someone does want to make a comment, they can always go on the Facebook page for Eau Claire USBC and leave a comment. We see all of them, so we'll gladly, answer any questions if someone should happen to have one that we didn't answer tonight. I know that we will have sign-up sheets available at both houses after this week. So for next week, they'll be able to find them at the houses. Right now, we're just sending them and passing them through the leagues as we're doing the 50-50 raffles. But then after this week, there might be some 50-50 raffles next week to catch some of the leagues we didn't catch. But otherwise, the sign-up sheets will be at the houses too.
Yeah. And if you bowl in a sanctioned league in either of these two houses in Eau Claire, Wagner's Lanes or Bowl Winkles, you are an association member and you are eligible to bowl. We really hope we'll see you at the association tournament. Well, it wouldn't be a show, at least not on this channel, without this.
Let's go off the sheet. Challenge a bowler to appear on a future episode.
I would like to challenge Mil Madison.
I would say Diana Zavulova.
The better Russo, Lauren Russo.
We're looking for anyone who has a passion for the sport and a unique story to tell.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts, the part where I have the possibility of actually booking out some shows in the future, because we're going to call out a couple folks who these two think should be on a future episode of Bowling with the Fat. Randy, why don't I start with you? You know the parameters. Who do you think should be on a future episode of the show?
I think someone that would be interesting would be Todd Munden.
Okay.
So Todd Munden has been bowling a long time. He's been on the independent league, I think, since almost day one it started, which has got to be 100 years ago. But up until 2 years ago, he was the leader with the highest score ever in the city.
The highest three-game series, yeah.
Right, high three-game series, scratch, which I can't do in 4 or 5 maybe. So I think he'd be an interesting person to have, to get his perspective on what it was like to be number one and be as round as long as he has in specifically one league.
Yeah. No, that's great. I happened to see Todd as we were going around hitting up the guys on Monday for raffle tickets. So Todd, if you're watching this, you know where to find me. Come on the show. It'll make Randy happy.
I'll see him tomorrow night, so I'll let him know.
Let him know. Yeah. Barb, how about you?
Okay, I was thinking about that. I'm going to go with Matt Polsek.
Okay.
He is one of our young bowlers. Excellent bowler. I mean, he's just, what a powerful ball. And I'm thinking of the little story you told last week that he would have to be on the show if he didn't beat you and then he bowled lights out.
Yes, he did.
So we'll get him a second time.
A very difficult shot, and he mastered it unlike anything I did that whole night. So, yes, Matt, you should come on the show. I know he's been challenged before, and he has had a 300 in our association tournament. We happened to get video of that a couple of years back. So, a great bowler there, too. Matt, please come on. He's a board member, too, right?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
He's
So,
a new board member. We love his input.
yeah, represent the board. Come on the show. We'll talk about your bowling story. Don't be shy. I mean, you guys are in the same condition that I found you, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Maybe. Okay. I do want to mention, of course, coming up next week, we do not have a regularly scheduled show. That's because we do have a big live stream over the weekend. That is in the Chicagoland area, the Big Ten Championships, February 1st and 2nd at Bolero Mount Prospect. In Mount Prospect, Illinois, you'll see start to finish coverage right here on the channel. On those 2 days, I typically take a week off when I do a live stream on the weekend. So that's the reason for that. We do have some interesting guests coming up in February as well, and I'll let you know about them a little on down the line. Also, I will be live streaming the supplemental tournament, eliminator style tournament here at Bowl Winkle's on February 22nd. If you're not participating, tune in, see how it goes. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate this. I know it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but I think you did a great job.
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure being here. It's fun.
Yeah. Again, those of you in the association, please come out and support the tournament. It'll set the stage for some great years of the association tournament moving forward, and enjoy all these new features. I hope it goes over well for you and your bowling friends. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you on February.
Thank you for watching Bowling with the Fef. Pound the like button and subscribe button. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it's free. Bowling with the Fef is brought to you by Chip Magnet. Raise your snack standards.
Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply inside Wagner's Lane. So Eau Claire, Wisconsin area's leader in bowling products and services since 1988. And Visionary Video Hub. Video with impact.
Email bowlingwiththefef@yahoo.com with questions or to appear on the show. You can also reach out on your favorite social media platform.